rolling. Oh, Mike. Right, here we are again. It's a bit like Groundhog Day, isn't it, Adam?
It is. It really is.
So, arguably, if last week after the Bayern game, I could have quite easily said the sentence, "This will be the worst result of the week." It was not. It was not the worst result of the week. I think losing, right off the bat, 3-0 to Brighton is worse than losing 7-2 to Bayern, even though the Bayern loss will go down in a bit of history there. People won't look at the stats for the Bayern game in 20 years. They'll just see 7-2, but the fact is, we weren't great. I'm not making excuses, but every single shot Bayern hit went on target well. So, there's mitigating circumstances. Brighton, on the other hand, oh dear. Thankfully, I didn't. I've seen that match of the day and the highlights, the extended highlights, but thankfully I didn't have to. When I was at work and I checked my phone, it was like second. I checked my goal as the second goal went in. And I was like, okay, good. But watching the highlights since, it's so weird watching all of the players that I've loved for 5 years, and there's not been like a United-style fallout where, you bought Mata knowing he was going to get old quite quickly, I guess. He was 25 when you bought them, and a really interesting stat I found out yesterday was that, so for the first 3 seasons under Poch, we had the youngest starting 11, in the entire league. We now have the 4th oldest, and that's just because there's been no change. So now I'm in a position, and help me out with this, please help me out with this, where I sit there and I've loved what's happened over 5 years, and Tottenham have been one of the most loyal clubs to its manager and its players, and yes, that's great. It builds an affinity, and you're like, this is great, and I feel part of what's going on, and it's wonderful. But now it's like, but all of you now need to know. I don't want Jan Vertonghen to leave. I think Jan Vertonghen needs to leave. I don't want him to leave. Can we not?
Why do you want him to leave?
No. He should, as in from probably a technical point of view. I want him to stay forever, and I love him.
Right. Okay.
But
fair enough.
Him and I don't know what's happened in a season, but him and Alderweireld can no longer turn. They've just, honestly, they can't turn anymore. They invite everything onto them. We're a mess. I have here a list of players that Tottenham should apparently sign, and I'm on this weird fence now. Obviously, I don't want Pochettino to go at all. Not one little bit. However, if you said to me now, and the one coach I would probably pick in the world is, I don't know if you know him, but Red Bull's Julian Nagelsmann.
Not
right, he's fantastic. He was at, I think it was Hoffenheim. He was part of the really good Hoffenheim resurgence, and then Red Bull have snapped him up. And it's just this exciting Klopp-esque, this German, Tuchel, German exciting manager thing that's happening. And if you said to me now, would you swap Poch for Nagelsmann? I would be like, no. But then quickly, say no, I'll be like, no, of course not, no, obviously. And then as soon as everyone else left, I'd tap them on the shoulder and go, okay, maybe. Just sneak him in.
But that's going back to us again. Where do you draw the line between getting rid of someone and trusting him? Do you know what I mean?
The reason I think we differ, and we're never going to agree on this, I have never, ever, ever thought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a good manager. At all.
Yeah.
I know what you want him to be. I
do understand that.
But he's just not that.
There's
only so far where United attack can get you before you run out of that. there's some players here, and so three of them we were linked with. Two of them we were linked with. So obviously, like Dybala would be a fantastic. He's currently on international duty with Lamella. Somehow I think Lamella's there. I don't know how Lamella's got called up actually, and Foyth.
I'm pretty sure they're getting absolutely spanked at the moment.
Are they? Oh, good. I'll have to have a look at that. And then we just need a right back. Do you know we've had five professional footballers who have played right back for Tottenham this season?
Jeez.
Do you reckon you could name them? Do you reckon you could even begin to name them? This is the state we're in. Go on, have a just a. I'm not going to judge you if you get it wrong. Just have a gander at the 5 players to play right back for Tottenham Hotspur this season.
Is Vertonghen one of them?
No.
Straight off, Alderweireld.
No.
That's right. No, forget it.
Okay. Kyle Walker-Peters, a right back. Serge Aurier, a right back, questionably. Davinson Sanchez, a centre back. Moussa Sissoko, a central midfielder. Juan Foyth, a right back, centre back, midfielder, child. And not one of them, well, either got injured or not worked or got red cards. I don't even know where I stand anymore. Did you see the tackle that, not the tackle as such, the Aurier tried to leap over an Alaba challenge and brought his feet down on Alaba?
No, I've not seen any of the highlights of that game.
So basically, yeah, that's what happens. Alaba goes in for a slide, Aurier jumps up and his studs land on his chest, and me and Ross were like, holy shit, he's gone. He has to go. Went to VAR, they saw it as accidental. Aurier fractured Alaba's ribs.
Oh, shit.
This is the state we're in at the moment. Which, ironically, got Alaba subbed off at half time, brought on Thiago, changed the game. They battered us from there. Oh,
I just need to delete. Rolling again.
Okay, cool. Right, Adam's back. Right, so basically, I think the point I'm making is Tottenham have let things go too far. Like, there was a chance we could have sold Eric. United were willing to, and these are not players I ever wanted to see leave, but now in hindsight, they're like, maybe we were idiots. United wanted to buy Eric Dyer for what, 50 million, was it?
Oh, Jesus, I remember that.
I'm not saying that would have been good business for anyone. He was great for us at one point. I don't want to badmouth Dyer. There was times where, Eriksen could have gone for, if we'd let him. I know players then, Real Madrid didn't really want him, but he could have gone for 70, 80 somewhere. Players like Wanyama, 12 million, just all of these things. And so I'm just looking at a lineup here, like a future lineup that could happen if we played our business right. And it's Lloris still, which could be questionable at the moment. Atal from Nice at right back. Alderweireld and Upamecano from Red Bull Leipzig. He's like this beast, 20-year-old, fast centre back. Sessegnon developing as a left back. Don't know who the DM is, so I'm not going to embarrass myself. A front two of Ndombele and Lo Celso, kind of in a double pivot. Son, Dybala, Kane. It's been a great 5 years watching Eriksen play. He's been fantastic when he shows up. It's been great watching Danny Rose give everything. It's been fantastic watching Vertonghen, who's stayed with us through the bad times and then the good, and now the bad times again. It's the end of an era at Tottenham, and it has to be an end of the era because otherwise we're going to get relegated.
Well, don't speak to CC.
Speaking of which, but there's a final point.
Go on.
It's all doom and gloom, right? It sucks, both of us. I think we're 2 points above you. Tottenham, I don't know where I stand. We're 8 games in, are we? We're 3 points off relegation too, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are 3 points off relegation. However, we're 3 points off the top 4. So I don't... It's... What do you want me to say? That's it's fine.
It is a bit of a weird season. It's I can't really describe it this season because although there's so much going on, it just seems like I can't see the end of anything. Like with Tottenham and United, it's
an end.
Our season's over.
For you guys, I'm more worried because the issue with United is that I believe that if Tottenham left, we'd buy a very similar manager in a Nagelsmann or a sort of like someone of that ilk, like a tactical young manager that would come in, a bit like Bayern Munich's what's his name, the Bayern Munich coach. Oh fuck, he's gone. Anyway, but with United, you've gone from Alex Ferguson doing Alex Ferguson things to this, Moyes very sensible football. And then you've gone to this really defensive Van Gaal style for a while, and then you've gone like to full on. Oh, hello! You've gone to full Mourinho, no one put a foot wrong style, and now you've gone to Ollie, like let them all go and attack, and it's like, where's your direction? I have heard that, I can't remember his name, but there is a really famous sporting director. He's one of the best sporting directors who's apparently said he's interested in United, and that would probably be one of your best signings in since Fergie left. If you could get something like that over the line, because that's the thing. Exactly what you need.
It's all well and good in being interested, but will the top dogs up there bring him in? I can't see it happening. They don't give a shit. Honestly, I'm not going to go into it just yet, but I just can't see him bringing anyone in at the moment.
Okay, I'll round up my point then, because there's not really much to say. It's not looking good, but it's not looking. It could be worse. I don't think Pochettino should leave unless he wants to. That's a completely different story. This is the most difficult time since he's been here, but at the same time, it's just being a victim of your own success, because he's the reason Tottenham fans expect to be getting the Champions League. Before him, it wasn't even a hope, it was a dream to get into the Champions League. Tottenham are not a Champions League team. People forget this. We are now, and I know we should be focusing higher because we've got the new stadium and we've got world-class players and we've got a world-class manager, and I get all that. However, he's taken us on that journey. So, what do you want? That's a terrible idea. If I build you the world's greatest Lamborghini and then I crash it, you should thank me. I don't know. I don't think that one works.
Yeah, you like using sort of car references, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I'll try better with that one. But yeah, it's fine. And also, just to add a slight bit of insult to, a bit of worry is apparently Lloris won't be back till the new year. So, Gazigniga, it's time to shine. And if anything happens to Gazigniga, one red card, one little niggle, a cold just before the game, Alfie Whiteman plays for us. Do you know who Alfie Whiteman is, Adam?
No.
Fucking exactly. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go. Right, cool. How's United doing?
Right. Same shit, different week, innit? I've just watched the highlights again just before we started this, just to sort of recap my mind. And we didn't have any highlights. They had all the highlights. We had that one chance with Maguire from the corner, which should have went in. But I'll forgive him because
that should have absolutely gone in.
Yeah, no. From the word go, the second minute they had two chances like that. They hit the bar. They threw everything at us, and we just sat there like fucking donkeys. Why Fred's a football player, I do not know. He can't even control it. There was reaction where Pereira passed it to him. It went under his foot, out for a throw in, and Pereira looked at him like you fucking should. The goal was always going to come. As soon as Andy Carroll come on, I thought, that's it. We're done here. He's a burden for us, honestly.
The state of your club when as soon as Andy fucking Carroll comes on, you're like...
I just knew. I saw him on the side, I thought, nah. And he should have scored, to be fair.
As just a side note, I was always convinced, and this proves how little I know, I was always convinced United were going to beat you. Newcastle were going to beat you in that game. For all week, I was like, Newcastle are going to win. Because I just knew they would. They'd do exactly what they did. It's just so in the narrative of the Premier League that Newcastle would have no wins except for Tottenham and United. It's just the kind of thing that happens.
Yeah.
However, I then saw the lineup, saw they started both of the Longstaff brothers, and went, that's fucking out the window then. And it was only this tiny, small debutant Ginger Longstaff that hammered one pass. I was like, all right, fair enough. Like,
Chesney from fucking Coronation Street. But no, honestly, I couldn't tell you much about the game. I was gobsmacked at how little football went on. Rashford still look like he gives a shit. He should be dropped.
He looks like he gives a shit.
He don't care.
The issue is, Rashford is still a player that he requires to put so much work ethic and running into his game. He needs to miss the occasion. You need to be a club that's big enough to say, it's only Newcastle this week, you're on the bench and we can bring you on if you need. But the issue is, you've got Martial who's dead, you sold Lukaku.
There's no reason why Greenwood shouldn't be starting. We're at this point now. We're at the point now where we've got nothing else. Why not risk?
Right, Greenwood might be the best player ever, but you don't just chuck him in. That's not how you do it. That's not, because at the moment you throw him in, and then
why
you
not
lose 3-0, because you could run the risk of destroying his career before he started.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, yeah, exactly, not necessarily. But that's why I said run the risk.
Should the risk not be there? You know, at the point where we're 2 points of relegation.
You're Manchester United, and you shouldn't be pinning all of your hopes on a 18, 17.
That's all we have, Josh. That's all we fucking have.
That's what we're agreeing, but we're saying it differently. That's not all you should have had. Lukaku is not the greatest footballer. As soon as you realised that you were not going to have a replacement for Lukaku, you should have slammed that transfer off to Inter Milan as quickly as possible and gone, you're not fucking going anywhere because the only other person available is fucking Mason Greenwood.
No, I agree. We should have had the replacement before we let him go. But at this point right now, we have nothing. And the only person we do have is this fucking 18-year-old now. You know,
no, but he needs to come on as a sub, and when he's got energy, and he needs to then come on, and it's okay. There's a difference between starting against Astana and Rochdale. Like, he started against Rochdale. You didn't win that game. If he can't do it against Rochdale, why can he do it against Liverpool at the weekend?
It's hard because what I'm looking at is, I think he can do more than Rashford at this point in time. Rashford's not got the confidence at the moment, and when your confidence is low, then you should not be fucking, you know.
But there's no other choice. Like, that's what we're saying. You're not getting anywhere by suddenly going, the squad have bereft of ideas. We're playing Chong, Greenwood, Gomez, Mitchell. These players do not come in and they may make you excited because they're young and they're giving everything, but you're not rising at the table with those players yet. And then you'll just be sat here and going, well, why are we just playing kids? We have people on the bench that are being paid £80,000, £100,000, £150,000 a week. They're in the same position as us, apart from we don't even have any fucking kids to bring on. We've got Oliver Skip. Also, on that note, actually, just quickly, do you know we lost to Colchester on penalties in the EFL Cup?
Yeah.
Our development squad, you know, they play in the weird, it's called the Worthing Cup, the Worthington Cup, the Leasing Cup trophy. It used to be the J. Payne.
Yeah.
So it's the Colchester first team, but our development squad, they only got drawn to Colchester, and our development squad beat them on pens.
Jesus Christ.
Tottenham announced it like, we go through in the Leasing Cup against Colchester, and everyone was like,
well,
what the fuck?
That's the same with us. Rochdale played City's under 21s maybe a few months ago, and they got fucking spanks off him.
Yeah, it's just a sad sport.
It's not football, it's Tottenham and United, isn't it? But
hey,
no, we've not... Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, have you ever... We'll talk about it in the briefest of brief chats, but have you ever been so excited for an international break?
Can you say that again? You broke up a bit.
Have you ever been so excited for an international break?
you know what? I'm buzzing for it because
it's just like
we can't lose, can we?
See you later. Having a fun time. Bye. See some Harry Kane hat tricks. I'll have a great time.
There's something about this international. On all seriousness, I think it's a good idea just to get away from club football for a bit, for the players as well.
Everyone. Poch can maybe go to Magaluf for a weekend. Ollie and Poch just having a great time. I think what we do need to talk about. Are we done on the United front? Is there anything else you want to say about United?
It's probably nothing that I've not said already. So,
do you think Solskjaer will survive till the end now of the season?
I don't know.
Good. Quality answer. I guess all I do want to say, because we'll cut to him after this, but Jay isn't a bad Chelsea fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
How fucking lucky have they got? They don't deserve this shit. Jay does not deserve to be watching a Chelsea team playing young kids, doing well, and getting 4 of his players called up to the fucking World Cup squad, and he thinks he's fucking to the England squad, and Jay's like, yeah, because Jay's probably the biggest England fan out of it. We really love England, I'm sure. Like, I love watching England, especially in tournaments. But Jay's probably the biggest England fan that I know. He's obsessed. He loves England. And that's for ages was because Chelsea didn't give him that sense of belonging, because Chelsea are a hollow, shallow, disgusting club. So he got that from England. And now Chelsea have got that. And genuinely, it's probably the happiest Chelsea fans have ever been besides winning a trophy, because they've got this community and spirit. However, they don't fucking deserve it, because they're only doing it because they got a transfer ban. Sarri fucked off to Juve, and they've just got so lucky to fall into this perfect storm. And while everyone else is shit as well, because they're not doing too great. If Arsenal, Tottenham, and United weren't being utter tosspots, Chelsea would still look pretty average. But because we all are shit now, they look all right.
This is the difference between me and you. Know, I can sit there and accept that Chelsea are actually doing pretty well at the moment. Like, not fantastically well, obviously, but I can't say it.
They are doing well.
I can't say it.
But the thing is, if that transfer ban never comes in and the fans don't hate Sarri, so if those two things don't happen, we still get an Allegri or someone, an Allegri or Sarri or like the Conte figures. We still watch this season a Chelsea side that buy someone like Umtiti and don't play. And Tammy Abraham doesn't get a look in. Mason Mount gets set back on loan. Ross Barkley's still a fringe player. Hudson-Odoi still sat on the bench. And it's only because of this perfect storm of transfer bans and, oh fuck, this is the only time we can give Frank a chance because he can't lose. It's just fucking luck. It's just, and that's what football is. But it's just, Jay deserves to see this, but most of them don't. Most of them don't deserve this.
That's a backhanded compliment, isn't it? Really?
Nah, fuck it.
No, I look at the Chelsea squad now.
A bit of success. Fucking Tottenham, but just one League Cup would have been great. Our golden generation is over, and we did fuck all with it. Good fucking lesson.
Shall we just cut to him?
Hello everyone, and hello Josh and Adam. Hope you're doing well, boys. I think I'm going to start the video by saying I love how petty you guys are getting and how I don't know how sad things seem. I'm getting absolutely rinsed on this podcast, and I'm sure I'll get rinsed again today. But yeah, I just thought I wanted to comment on it because it's funny. Bournemouth beat us 4-0.
4-0.
4-0.
4-0.
It's really bad. Bollocks, man. Just shit, man. It's not fair. It's not fair. Bournemouth beat us 4-0. Why did I have to say 4-0?
4-0.
Bournemouth beat us 4-0. Bournemouth beat us 4-0. Bournemouth beat us 4-0. And second of all, I've got to ask the question, what is going on, boys? Spurs and United, it's just a madness. And Spurs losing out to Brighton. Bournemouth beat us 4-0. And United losing out to Newcastle.
Bournemouth beat
us 4-0. And I've just got to ask myself, who's got the worst result out of the two out and out?
Bournemouth beat us 4-0.
I've been thinking about it for the past couple of days. I don't really know, to be honest. Steve Bruce's Newcastle, as much as I like to joke, aren't good. Everyone said they're set for relegation. The squad just seems like a championship squad. And Steve Bruce is at the wheel, but that means nothing to Newcastle United, where they lose 1-0. And from the highlights, because I've only saw the highlights, Newcastle looked all over you guys. They created some great opportunities, some brilliant runs, and you guys look stale. And don't get me wrong, you had a couple of chances yourselves, but it just didn't look great. It's so confusing, but also great at the same time, because that's Manchester United. Growing up, Manchester United like that, they were massive. You don't beat Manchester United, especially not Newcastle, and now you're 10th, I think, or 11th, and you and City make 25 points this season, and Liverpool are on 24. So there's that. And then Spurs, and you lose not only did you lose to Bayern Munich 7-2, a couple of days later you've lost 3-0 against Brighton, and I'm just, I can't get my head around it. It's insane. I'm actually quite curious to see what you both say about this in this pod, because both clubs seem to be in crisis. I don't like using that word, but for lack of a better word, in some sort of a crisis. I think Spurs are less in a crisis. I think they've got a bit of backbone. I think as long as Poch is there as well, he's a world-class manager. But as for the result, I don't know which one's worse. You'll have to let me know, boys. Anyway, let's move on to something a bit more positive, because Chelsea, full of positivity, and here we go. This is where I get rinsed, because they can't hack the fact that I'm happy. Buzzing 4-1 win. I watched this in an Irish bar in Koh Lanta, which was pretty good, to be fair. There's a couple of Chelsea fans in there, and it was brilliant. Brilliant game. And again, I'm going to keep saying it, the youngsters got on the score sheet. Tammy and Mount, both with decent goals. Callum got on the assists, but let's put that on the back burner for now, because our kids are great and they're pretty much running the show. But this game showed how good our senior players actually seem to be. I don't know why I'm saying seem to be. How good they are. Willian had a fantastic game. I think he got 2 assists. He pretty much ran his side of the field. He just owned it, and I'm really happy to see, because Willian, he's never been amazing. He's been good at spells, and I mean, that game against Barcelona 2 years ago, he was just incredible. But he's always been up and down. He's never been steady. He's never been that great, and it's good to see him now being a senior player and flourishing in that kind of role. And Jorginho as well, although he's only been there for a year, he's an older player, and he's really playing well. He's doing a very similar role as he did last year under Sarri, but he's controlling the game, and he's picking out his passes, accepting the ball, but also being a leader, screaming at the players, telling them what to do, pointing here, there and everywhere. It's good to see it, because as much as Aspie does that, it's good to have more than one leader on the field. So I'm just buzzing. And finally, our subs, Batshuayi and Pulisic, they both came through, an assist and a goal. It was good to see them having their little bit of chemistry as well. The handshake and all that. It was just great to see. It's good to see that although we have this first team of youngsters that are playing really well, we have this great kind of squad depth that can come on and still get a goal and just bury the game. It's just a great time to be a Chelsea fan, boys. I'm absolutely buzzing. The only downside of that game was the fact that Christ, I forgot that player's name, but he just ran through about 10 players, and that was a mad run. I remember watching that, like, lads, come on. But I was never in doubt that we were losing that game. I think that's just one slip up. Frank said it himself. My camera cut out, that's really annoying. But we keep slipping up too much. But it's fine. Everything's great. Obviously not for you guys. At least we got an international break, so you guys don't have to be sad for another week. Oh God! All right. That's me. I'm going to end it there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, boys. Tell your dad.
Oh, hi guys. Chelsea did another win. Brilliant. I can't wait. Come on, England. Oh, sorry. Look at the view. They calls us boys. Right, that's the end of part 1, I think. Fuck it. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course you can.
So, have you ever been so determined to catch someone out that you've spent 5 months hiding people from your Instagram or social media, leaking false stories one at a time until one of those leaked stories gets sold to the Sun and you've pinpointed exactly who hath wronged you? Have you ever done that?
I'll tell you what, I've thought about it. Never actually gone through with it.
Never gone through with it. Well, enter Colleen Rooney. What a time to be alive. Did you see the post?
This is giving me such satisfaction.
Oh, I sat down for my lunch and all it was... So I've got I can't get it right now, but I've got this graph, I'll put it up, and it's essentially a graph of keywords throughout the day. And the red line that you'll see is Brexit, right? And Brexit's always kind of high like this, right? Brexit's just chilling. Because everyone's always looking about Brexit. And then just here, just a little blue line appears. And the blue line is labelled Rebecca Vardy. And then Rebecca Vardy just goes, boo, just literally like 5 times the height of Brexit. And that's just, Twitter just went, boo. And just for a bit of backstory here, that's exactly what's happened, is apparently, allegedly, Colleen Rooney has caught out Rebecca Vardy selling her private Instagram stories to the Sun, which, you know, let's be honest, if there's one thing wife of she does things in her own right. She writes articles, she appears on shows, she's a model, I think. She does things. She has her own makeup brand, I think. I might be lying. But
why do you know this?
Because I've googled her a few times, because I honestly think there's like, I mean, we might have to beat this out because we want to get, we want this podcast to be a thing one day. They honestly just look up Jamie and Rebecca Vardy. They're just, if he didn't play football, she'd be sat there with the fans screaming at the kids, going, "Fucking get back in, your dinner's ready," and everyone would be like, "Oh God, okay." Yeah, I might not add that in. Sorry. No, just I'm from a council estate too originally. That's where I'm going with this.
There's a knock at the door. There's a knock at the door.
Yeah.
Your kids just beat up my kid.
Oh no, you're frozen in the worst. But no, you're back. Anyway, so.
I know.
Yeah, so essentially but if there's one thing that actually, how much money do you reckon Jamie Vardy earns? 120 a week, maybe 100?
Yeah, it's about that, isn't it?
She definitely doesn't need the money, right, for these stories. She definitely doesn't, right? So, which is better, because that just leaves pure spite. That's the only reason
I think what it is, they've got, I know you've just said she does all this stuff, but do you not think they just get bored? Like, I'm not saying they just sit at home doing nothing, but do you not think it just gives them a bit of excitement in their life?
Just fuck with Colleen Rooney.
That's probably the main reason.
Vardy's back from training, she's just on the sofa, and Vardy's like, "What have you been doing?" She's like, "Just fucking with Colleen." And Vardy's like, "Rebecca, we've spoken about this. Please, like, he's coming back to England soon. Like, I have to see him at events and stuff. Like, we're both in the Midlands. He'll be at Derby soon. He can find us." Like, oh.
Well, I saw the tweet here, and then it's a text message. He said, "Wayne Rooney, hi Jamie Vardy. Hope we ain't got a problem because of our wives, mate? ? Jamie Vardy, yes, my brother. Of course, there's no problem, mate. Birds are gonna be birds. Let them crack on. You good?
Let them crack on. Let them crack on. No, yeah, and my favourite ones are just how with just the age we live in now. Like, I think it was Roma tweeted literally the football club Roma tweeted out just Rebecca Vardy and then block this person with just, you can never be too careful. It was like Roma stuff. Zenit got involved. I can't remember exactly what they said. I don't know what Zenit did. Roma did that. Zenit did something. BVB made a parody of Colleen's original statement, all about something else, like the exact same like phrasing of things. It was all about the admin. Like that's the world we live in now, where you can do something like this and at someone, and suddenly imagine sitting at home and literal football clubs are atting you. What do? You sat there like, go away, Roma. No. How do you fight Roma? I like thought of it being Totti on the other side. Just come in here. Totti,
there's a tweet here from Rebecca Vard. This was February the 7th, 2016. At Pot Noodle, I may have something of your interest. Could you DM me, please?
Is that actually real?
That is a tweet. I will put it on.
Excellent. I've seen her tweeting loads of stuff like from like years ago, and it's there like once you cut the grass, the snakes will start to come out, and it's like just loads of stuff. Oh, it's funny. It's just great.
These are fully grown
women.
women.
We should be talking about as football fans, but honestly, I don't let celebrity stuff take me. I let this one take me. I was like, come on, let's have it. Let's have it all.
So there is something I want to talk about.
Oh, excellent, good, because I've run out of fucking content. So we're on. Here we are.
You're gonna have to bear with me. I've been trying to get it up. That's why I've not been making eye contact here.
Okay.
Goal released. I don't know if you saw it. They released a team. A team of the decade in the Premier League.
I did see this.
Yeah.
It's a United fan.
It really frustrated me.
Go on, run us through the team.
Right. De Gea in net. Okay. I don't fuck with that. No, not in a no.
No.
10 years.
Yeah.
Well, go on. What would you say?
Probably. How long's Czech been shit for? Maybe Czech's only in the first 5 years, so fair enough.
That one's debatable. Fair enough, and I can appreciate Czech being in it. I wouldn't be angry if he wasn't. Company back four.
Yeah.
Company one of them. I appreciate that. Don't bother.
Yeah.
Van Dijk.
No. But then again, are you maybe looking a bit too far back? Because Vidic has been retired for what, 6-7 years now, if we're talking people like that?
No, right, let's find my tweet. I'm trying to find it here now. Have you got my tweet up?
I haven't. So I have to get your Twitter.
Fair enough. I'm on Twitter. I just can't fucking.
Do I have your Twitter?
Anyway, I know the back four from my head because it angered me that much. I was on the tram home, right, and I read it, and it really wound me up. I was going red in the face. Van Dijk, who's not won a Premier League. Let's just remind everyone of that. He's in team of the decade of the Premier League, which is interesting.
Who was you playing then?
Instead,
yeah.
You could name a handful of players, couldn't you? I know.
Who?
The players I...
What's your Twitter first? Wait a minute.
So think about 10 years ago, yeah? What's that? 2009.
What's your Twitter?
2009, yeah?
No, what's your
Vidic,
Twitter?
Ferdinand, Terry. Instantly there.
No, but that's further back than...
No, it's not.
No, I suppose it's not. Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to just get this up. One sec. Are we lagging now?
I can tell you the left back and the right back, which is a bit meh. Left back is Aspilicueta.
Yeah, I've got it fully up now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Right, I've got it fully up. Okay, right.
Oh, there we go. So have I.
Okay. Right, so we're saying Terry over Van Dijk. Sadly.
Yeah. Not sadly. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, considering Van Dijk is immense, and I'm sure it is, but yeah, he has only been at
Yeah,
this
no,
level
I'm not
for 3
disputing
years,
that.
maybe 3 years. If you're not at this level for over, half of that 10 years, then probably shouldn't be in it. That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
So Azpilicueta, I don't think Azpilicueta has ever played left back in his life, has he?
That's what I thought.
He's
But then again, I suppose there hasn't been legendary left backs in the past 10 years. And
no, probably not. To be fair, weirdly, the one that's jumping to my mind is Kolarov as that's what I can think of. So yeah, fair enough. Zabaleta, I think that's fair.
Again, I'm not angry at that, but because I can't think of any more right backs. But
yeah, well, I mean, who else are you gonna really put? The only ones that you would maybe say deserve a shout for 10, if you're talking across 10 years. And I know they haven't won anything, but the only ones that you think, wow, they were so good at one point is Baines and Coleman. But they
yeah, no, I appreciate that because he has been up there for them 10 years, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's only slacked off the past couple of years, I know, but...
Okay, so the midfield, what's your problem with the midfield? I think Kante is fair.
Kante's fair. Toure, I'm not mad at. You know what? The middle three, I'm okay with.
Okay, the front three,
I
think...
However...
Okay.
Sorry, there is people missing.
Okay.
Cesc Fabregas.
Fucking knobhead.
Fabregas. I would put Lampard in there. I would put Gerrard in there. I would put Modric in there.
No, you can't put Modric in there as much. He's only come into fruition and real once he left. He was great at Tottenham, but once he went to Madrid, that was when it started to kick for him. He was great for us, but he didn't become... I mean, he should never have won the Ballon d'Or, but he didn't become a Ballon d'Or winner until he was at Madrid.
But then again, I put those players next to them three there, and I can't really put any of them over him. So again, I'm not really mad at that.
So yeah, I'm assuming you're angry at one particular member of the front three.
Which one do you think it is?
Sterling.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my you can feel free to debate me on this, because me and my mate Ross have been having this discussion and he thinks I'm an idiot. I genuinely believe Aguero is the greatest player to ever play in the Premier League.
I would definitely put him top three.
Fuck Henry, fuck Van Persie. Aguero not only has his consistently up there with the absolute best goal scoring record, but as a caveat to that, he has the biggest goal ever in the Premier League, in the winner. That coupled with his record, for me, Henry was brilliant, and I'm not slagging Henry off, but what did he ever do that defined... And we're not even talking, we're talking the first title, aren't we, with that goal? We're talking a monumental shift in what City was. A bit we're talking, whenever people use the Maradona thing, he went to Italy and changed a club, didn't he? That's what that Aguero goal did, as well as consistently scoring ever since. So I think he is the greatest player to ever, not even one of them, for the Premier League.
That's fair enough.
Cool. Well, that was a lame argument.
I can't argue with that. He's a very... I wouldn't... If you was to think about in prime now, Aguero in prime, Henry in prime...
I'd rather watch Henry.
I'm gonna... If you're thinking of goals, you go to one man, don't you? That's it.
Yeah. I'd rather watch Henry, but I'd rather Aguero be in my team.
That's a fair argument.
Hazard is difficult to argue with. I don't think he's this Madrid class player that everyone thinks he is. he maintained a goal-scoring record throughout his time in the Premier League of about 1 in every 3, which is fantastic for the Premier League, but not good enough for Real Madrid.
Mm.
Well, it might be
So,
now, because they're a different beast, but sorry.
Since you brought up the Sterling thing, does that mean you disagree with it as well?
Until I think of anyone better, no. But if I feel free to give me someone better, just because that Liverpool team 6 years ago, where he was the breakout player with Suarez and Sturridge, he was fantastic. And then from then he had a bit of a dip, but then he's kind of gone strength to strength. He has been a top player for 5 years now. But please feel free to throw someone else in.
No, listen, I love Sterling, I really do. I think he's an absolutely terrific player, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. But, it's probably just me being a United fan, and you're probably going to laugh in my face. But if we're going off the decade, yeah, and we're thinking about, it was just a year after we won the Champions League, yeah?
Yeah, give us a name.
We won the league in 2012. No, not Nani. No. I'm not at the lead. It's got to be Giggsy, hasn't it? You know what I mean? I don't understand how he can't get into that squad.
When was Giggs? Yeah. Was Giggs not really prominent in like 2007, 8, 9 though? Like, was that not his peak years, or am I wrong there? Only because I really became I liked before, but I only really became like a proper like staunch watcher religiously in about 2011-12.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Giggs was on not the decline, but he wasn't getting into that last Alex Ferguson team that much, and that was in 2012. So, by that logic, he'd retired by 2013, hadn't he? What you have to remember, Adam, is it's 2019. He'd retired at 2013.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I'm being very biased, I know.
I think you haven't been biased. So without sounding patronising, I think you've just got your date. I think you've forgotten it's 2019, maybe. 2010 was the rise of. Like 2010 was like the last season we had Modric. Actually, 2011 was the last season we had Modric. Sorry, I just think a lot more time has maybe passed than you. And these are the players.
Yeah, I appreciate that, but I think what I'm thinking of classic players when I think to 10 years ago.
That's why it's not it's not 10 years ago though. It's this 10 years.
Yeah, so when I tried to look at if they was there for longer than 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, but if they were there in 2008, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, they've only been in the decade for 2 of those seasons, which means they wouldn't.
No, this is what I'm saying. So when did Modric leave?
Like 2012, 2011.
Right.
9 years ago.
Okay.
So like. Sorry to crush you, but
yeah, it's alright. I think going back to it, the one that really pissed me off was Van Dijk.
That's fair. Yeah,
I think he's an amazing
hype that's been built around him now.
I think he's an amazing centre back. Yeah, true.
Again, there's maybe an argument between him and stuff. Let's not get into that. Let's just say that's not a thing. Right. Well, that was an underwhelming debate. All in all, I think it's probably fair. And the outrage is because, time is moving and we're all going to die soon. So, And what you have to remember is Man City's title win was in that 2011-12 season, wasn't it? So that's why this is...
Yeah.
From then, it has been a Chelsea and City dominated, apart from Leicester. And...
Stick Jamie Vardy up front, man.
That's how we're ending this. It should be James. Brilliant. I'm going for my dinner now. You've upset me. Goodbye. Tell your dad. Don't even bother telling your dad this week. It's a fucking shit show. We don't know what we're talking about.